Very more like a three speak, I take it.
Library is like you want to think of library as the hive blockchain of Odyssey. So like everything, the technology is library, and it's its own application as well.
Uh,
Or like of the edge of like the Theta network, but I guess not the edge because I guess if you call it considered edge Theta edge, then yeah, because edge for Theta is like truly the background of the Theta network, what's really powering everything, and then it puts it to this front facing UI. So the same thing with Hive, there's Hive, and then you get all these different UI interfaces, but that's what library is to it. So you can use the library application which you need to download, or you can use their browser-based Odyssey application. And I think there's a few other applications for it, but they might have just fizzled out.
okay, interesting. I'll have to look into that one. All right, boom, boom, talk show. Okay, perfect. Yeah, it was already on talk show. The category is what you said. Okay, we got 3.5. We're running. We're on Twitter. Everything looks good.
Really? Lost my ukulele in here.
You lost your ukulele?
There's like one that just hangs out in the main room, but that's like my decorative one that I have people carve on whenever I travel.
Oh,
But
nice. That's
it's
cool.
yeah, it still plays well and stuff. But yeah, I lost the one that I really like. It's a little bit bigger that I got from Hawaii. And I need to find that thing. It's in here in a case, so it's just piled stuff on top of it.
Nice. What's that guy Don from the legendary? What's his name? What I'm getting at is we're gonna have to get you to sing some songs.
I'll play a little something, something.
Yeah,
Practice something for one of the days. Maybe play
yeah.
something gaming related. I know like some Zelda
Ooh, there you
songs
go.
and stuff,
That'd be fun.
and some another Mario theme song.
Oh, nice.
Part of the Pokemon theme song. Um,
Classic.
yeah.
Dos Benitos. All right, so let's see. I've got going through. I got. What are like the keys do you think to these platforms? Tokenization, free speech, take, and user rewards. Anything else, or would you say are the main?
Yeah, tokenization. You said freedom of speech, user rewards. Um, oh, I guess like certain type of community in some like recent because they think a lot of them focus on like just like how to like manage your community or interact with your community in different ways that like aren't always allowed and like other type. I feel like stuff like Instagram and stuff like that isn't necessarily made for a community. It's
Int-
like it's
Okay.
like you can build a community there, but it's more like look at me, I'm the
Yeah, right.
pedestal, like
Putting something up in a window and people are
yeah,
looking out from the
yeah.
outside in. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Tokenization, free speech, user rewards, community angle. Yeah, those are the main ones, I think. Most of them are proof of, well, I know. I mean, Hive, Theta, they're definitely proof of stake, right?
Yeah, I don't think any of them are proof of work. It's hard to find a proof of work blockchain. Obviously, when people make that argument about proof of work, I'm like, it's hard to find a proof of work blockchain. There's Bitcoin, Ethereum right now for the next like 2 or 3 months, and then there's like one other Cadena or whatever
Cadena with a C?
with a K.
What's a K? I don't know if I heard of that. Okay, so keys are set. That's a good starting point. All right. 10 seconds. I'll just go host and then I'll bring you in like usual. Take a drink of water first.
I was getting caught up on my Fed and interest rate and economy knowledge this morning.
Oh, okay.
Fun.
I was listening to something about them dropping the GDP down and was trying to look up what exactly that means for like you and I, the common man,
Mm.
or if that's just like them fudging the numbers, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe we'll get in that. You never know
Yeah.
where things will lead. All right, here we go. I'm gonna go over. Hello, everybody. Welcome to GameFi Throwdown with Fight Legends Media. Again, of course, as always, we have Smurf from Money Match Gaming. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing good. Feeling good. Huh.
Awesome, man. Yeah, well, today, we got a little bit of a special. We're taking a turn on what we're doing for the shows here. We're going to take a little bit more of a specific interest in a particular topic, maybe each episode. For this one, we're looking at streaming, Web3 streaming and video hosting sites. Yeah, so your Twitch and YouTube alternatives, Web3 wise. You see all kinds of, obviously GameFi is blowing up right now, but it's not like you're seeing a lot of talk about them streaming to multiple platforms or building that community out on the streaming side. And I think a lot of it might be just the lack of actual fun games to stream in the GameFi sector. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of the options out there for people today, huh, Smart?
Yeah. It'll be a good day to learn things for like a reading rainbow or something.
Yeah. So first we'll start with DLive TV, because of course that is basically where you and I met back in the day, originally on Steam blockchain. So why don't you give us a little intro there, and how you're set up there with Money Match Gaming?
Yeah. So DLive.tv, as Shawn was saying, it's an interesting, I feel like, example of how a blockchain project, or project, not product, can go from one blockchain to the next. So we met on the Steemit side of things, which is now Hive, the Hive blockchain. Again, they can go from one to the next via forks and things like that. And what it is a streaming platform on the blockchain, very similar to Twitch. They wanted to basically build out a Twitch on the blockchain that is very user friendly. And so to start things off, it was not as user friendly just because it was on Steemit/Hive, which is, it's fairly user friendly, right?
Right.
After you get in there and understand a few things. But I've already said two things that, like, after you get in there and after you understand a few things, versus like Twitch is kind of intuitive. It's like, it's almost like picking up. People say the iPhone. I want to say Android because I'm like, iPhone, I don't know. When they had the little button down at the bottom, especially, it wasn't very intuitive, folks. But but it's fairly easy to maneuver around the platform and figure out, I can type in the game name or this. And that's kind of how DLive works, where it's really easy to move around the platform and just see other streamers. And it looks like a streaming platform, like what you're used to. The other benefit of DLive, which was the tokenization. So the fact that there was the ability to earn tokens on DLive. And initially they started off with their own token. And this is after they merged off of Steemit to their own DLive platform, which caused some strife in the community, because they were, they garnered a bunch of funds on the Steemit side of things, because Steam does kind of like almost like incubator programs, I want to say, and stuff, and they have like different initiatives and things like that, where it's a community, it's a decentralized, very decentralized, so you can vote on things and projects and stuff like that you want to fund.
Absolutely.
And even if the people don't vote on them, it's really just community consensus. The people decide to like throw their vote at something, and then that project will end up earning a lot of money. And what do they do with that money then? They can do what they want with it, pretty much. So that happened with DLive, and people are delegating to them as well. And delegating is kind of like borrowing. It was like early borrowing and lending on the blockchain. So we see that through like Aave now. But like back in the early days on Steemit, you could just set up your funds and you could delegate them to somebody else. Okay, let them borrow your funds and do what they want with them. But this led to DLive being very successful, and they decided that Steemit wasn't as user friendly as they wanted it to be, and for them to really get more people on board it, which we faced at Money Match Gaming because we were trying to get our gamers on board it to it and using it, because they could just like a post and then we get some funding on Hive or Steemit. But yeah, due to it not being as easy, they decided to migrate to their own blockchain and platform, which was the Lino blockchain. I'm not sure if you remember those Lino days.
Oh yeah.
And Lino was cool. It was a proof of stake blockchain. Had its own validator nodes and stuff like that. People could go in there and become validators, and it was very profitable. Um, but eventually, right around the time that they were going to make Lino an official blockchain and start to get it on all these different exchanges and stuff like that, um, they start to have a. I think it was really just Justin Sun taking an interest in the project,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah, I think, and he obviously had an interest not only in DLive but an interest in Steemit because he got his claws in Steemit, and then now that's its own thing, and but in DLive as well, and so DLive kind of got taken over by Justin Sun in a sense, and they decided to go with Tron, which was being fronted by Justin Sun as like their main face at the time, and so it became on the Tron blockchain, and using the BitTorrent protocol in some aspects for the peer-to-peer file sharing and this and that, I believe. Because that portion of things I have to like look into and get like really specific with it. To wrap up this story, to help it get a little quicker, as I toward the end of things, so like in 2019. BitTorrent actually bought out DLive.tv. So it went from being like a Justin Sun project to being bought out entirely by BitTorrent, its own company.
Right.
Now BitTorrent owns it. I do believe Justin Sun actually has like a stake in BitTorrent though. But it got bought out by BitTorrent. The only other things that I'll say about DLive is that it has its own monetary like ecosystem. So it didn't go with Lino. Obviously, it went with Tron. And so you can donate people Tron token. You can donate to them BTT token. And then because of its being bought out by BitTorrent, around the time that happened, I think they did that as kind of like a way to get more of its own token system in there. You could stake BitTorrent tokens on DLive.tv. And earn in a nice little APR some interest on those tokens that you get, which was like one of the real appeals that only blockchain people notice. Other than that, if you're more of a mainstream type of person, they have a token system called Lemons, which is very similar to Twitch's Bits, where you can actually earn lemons from either engaging with the stream and the chess mechanism. However, they changed it many times, so I won't go too much into that, or watching ads on the platform, and which is what people are really used to with Twitch, where you can watch an ad and earn some lemons or some bits and then donate them to the streamer. But yeah, all those things make DLive a pretty interesting platform, and it's where the last thing is that you're monetized day one on DLive. So there's benefits to becoming a partnered streamer or a global partner. There's different levels to it, just like with Twitch, but everybody on the platform is actually monetized on day one. And at the very beginning, that really included even the viewers, where the viewers were even like, you don't ever have to stream to the platform. And technically you still are with the staking mechanisms to it. You can still just earn from the platform.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And that's partly, that's a good way to look at it, that telling people, you start streaming day one and you're earning already. And I'm looking right now, as you were talking about all that, I had the staking page up to show everyone, people staking the BTT, getting a little bit back. I think I have to update mine for it to show what I have staked, but yeah, we're definitely in there. And then as partners, again, we get a little extra percentage kickback from all the daily usage, basically, right?
Yep. And that portion of things is also currently changing a little bit. And it's changing because of, for people that haven't, if you haven't been kept up on it totally, they have no definitive date for like what they're working out right now, but they did say it's like a month or so in the DLive chat. I got this information from the partner chat, but it's because BTT actually split. Like there was like a fork of BTT, kind of, not really a fork. BTT created its own blockchain, and so it became the layer 2 solution of the Tron blockchain. So it split to its own layer of a blockchain, and that's called BTTC. And when it did that, BitTorrent token went from being the normal BitTorrent token that everybody knew and that most people have staked on DLive is now considered BTT old when you research it as a token. So if you look on like CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap or Nomics, it's BTT old is the old BitTorrent token, and BTT is just the new one. And so the new one is denominated 1 to 1,000. For the other one, so they want to make more tokens, and so every one BitTorrent token, BitTorrent old, is 1,000 BTTC on the new chain.
Okay, and now let's shift a little bit to another. It's maybe a cousin to DLive TV, and that would be Vim. What do you know about Vim? Vim is something that's a little bit slower of a build, but I'm definitely familiar and have interviewed the founders over there, really good guys. So I'm definitely always looking for updates and seeing what they're got working on over there. But it's not necessarily got a lot of viewers and traction over there. So what do you know about where Vim's at?
Yeah, Vim is an interesting platform, I would say, to say the least. It
Mm-hmm.
is attached to the, what was Steam, now the Hive blockchain, and that was kind of like their answer to streaming. I think it came along after DLive left the blockchain, I want to say, and there was like a little wake after DLive left. Steam it. I want to say it was after. Do you think? Do you
I don't know.
were they at the
It
same
might have
time?
been before,
What?
because I think there was two, and we were actually talking to them because they were more accessible as a team. So that's why we were actually streaming on Vim. So I want to say maybe Vim was there, a little bit, like the starts of it at least, maybe. But
Yeah.
it was right around there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. But yeah, a streaming platform on the Hive blockchain, and it's directly tied in with the Hive blockchain. So it does have a off-chain, some mechanisms to it, and that just goes as far as like sign up and stuff like that goes. So you can do sign up and things of that sort off
Right.
chain. That's just as like a way for them to try to give you like access to your account if you're like a muggle, as I like to call them.
Right.
That like messes up with some blockchain things, and it's just them
Yeah.
trying to make sure that you can still access things. But the rest of it is handled on chain. So as far as like syncing it up to your on chain rewards and stuff like that, all that is on chain. And yeah, it's a streaming platform. They want it to look very similar to the other streaming platforms, but it's a very small team working them.
Right.
They do their own, I want to say, call it tokenomics and just more gamification type of routes as far as things go. Like I know they had like a gym system before, but I think that like fell through.
Okay.
Yeah, they just try to figure out different ways to actually reward their users, and the biggest thing for it really is just the fact that it's on the Hive blockchain. And so when you create a stream on Vim, you have it goes through and it displays the post on Hive, and so that's an easy way for streamers to, if you're like getting started on Hive and you want to be able to create something, take a little bit of time, make it set up your Vim thing, your Vim account, type some wording in, make it a little different, and then you have a post going out on the Hive blockchain that's actually a stream on Vim as well. And so when people click on that link within your post, it'll take them to your Vim stream. And as an added bonus, if you're streaming on other platforms, feel free to leave those links in there in the description of what you're doing, and all of a sudden they can click on those ones too.
Yeah, I like that. And there's a couple others on the list here that are doing things like that, where it's easier to take your Web 2 content and throw it on the chain, which is good for beginners and for people who are worried about leaving that Web 2 crowd behind. And they kind of want to ride on the fence a little bit between the two worlds, right?
Yeah.
As they bring people on. Oops, drop my phone here. All right, so yeah, that brings us to. I was trying to bring Vim up for people to see, but the site is not cooperating. So we will go to.
Want me to show it really quickly in my window?
Yeah, for sure. Throw it up for the people.
Cool. So this is Vim. File basic looking website. Got to push on this. We got somebody streaming there. I'm not sure. Actually, it says offline, so maybe they actually just recently came down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nope, they're up. So there you can see their little logo there. And if I were to click on one of these, not a whole bunch of people live. Smaller website, also lesser known blockchain. That's fine. That's fine. But if we were to click in one of these, let's say this one, I don't know how they have 2,000 people watching. What the heck? I feel like a lot of times in Vim, what you get though is people that like support the streamers they know go to that one, and they'll just leave a tab open on their channel.
I've definitely heard that. Well, that's kind of like tight knit community that's over there too. That they really look to support the other users.
Yep. Yeah, because like if we're looking right here, again, like you're also monetized on day one on Vim, very similar to DLive, and that's because it's tied in with the Hive blockchain. And so, how do you get monetized? Via upvotes on the Hive blockchain. So when people like your content, they're able to vote on it.
And they can do that here, and they can do that on what will be like a post, it'll look like a social media post on the front end of
Hive.
Of Hive, yeah.
Yep. So they can do it in both places, and you can see the monetary amount right here, 2.856 Hive that this one has earned. I actually have the DTube currency up like 1,000% a day. Silly. But yeah, 2 point something Hive. I don't know what Hive is today, but just while I have my numbers up, it's over $2, like about $3. 2.85. $3.11 that they earn from that stream. And it doesn't take much, and people probably never heard of the streamer and this and that, but
Yep.
that's some of the bonuses of a tight knit community, as Shawn was saying. Also, the last thing that I mentioned about this is you can find this a lot on Hive. Is like once you like find your community, people can do things like auto vote on your post, which will include your live streams, and so they can like set it up to like anytime this person puts out a post, I want to delegate 10% of my voting power, which is like you choosing if your like, or what we call an upvote on Hive, is worth 10 cents, you could delegate 10% of it to a certain post every time that person posts. And so that would be like 1 cent every time somebody posts. But
Yeah, and that's been a real on that because we've been on there for a while now, and I'm always going between topics so much. That was a big, just something I was contemplating was how since people want to auto upvote you and you build up that community, it's like you kind of feel like you want to stay true
to that
what
one area.
have Someone's home and the puppy is excited. I know that.
Yeah, so excited.
All right, well, while we're transitioning, let's go. Let's see. Next, we're gonna check out 3Speak, also on Hive. So perfect transition there. But 3Speak is more of the YouTube alternative as opposed to the Twitch alternative, right?
Yeah, exactly. And also to clarify, because also on Hive, and I know we've mentioned Hive and Steven a lot, like starting off, but that's just because they're actually really early to this whole blockchain thing. And DLive again, like split off to its whole own. It made its own blockchain called Lino, before becoming part of the Tron blockchain. But all that started from it's like thinking about how Ethereum technically came from Bitcoin. All these things come from what's been there first, and so that's why this is being mentioned, why it's being mentioned so much. But yeah, 3Speak is like the YouTube, as Shawn was saying, of the Hive blockchain. And so again, the monetary policy behind 3Speak is very much upvotes, and just and then just Hive dollars, Hive and Hive back dollars. And so you get to choose how you get that reward. 50-50 split between Hive and Hive back dollars. It's similar to Vim, except it's straight up a YouTube looking format where you want to type in the post that you're looking for, and you can filter it by new post or trending post. But yeah, it's very much that YouTube.
Nice. And for the longest time, this was around on the chain while DLive TV and Vim were doing their things. And so they were establishing themselves more as the, like I said, more on the YouTube side of things. But they always had the kind of, at least they had a button, right, where it said live stream. And so it was always something I was like, oh, it'd be awesome, because I really like the creators behind it. It would be so cool. Do you know if they've, gone further down that route at all as far as
the live streaming on 3Speak?
Yeah. No, on 3Speak, yeah.
Yeah, you said on 3Speak.
Yeah.
I don't believe they've gone any further. I've heard like some just like I'll see like conversations in the Hive community every once in a while, and people be like, yeah, we should do this or that. And there was something about like an overlay or something like that had to do with 3Speak, but nothing too much down the category of live streaming directly on 3Speak, unfortunately. Yeah. They're kind of staying in their own lane there. Meow.
Yeah, I do see they have like a newcomer first post category, first uploads.
First uploads, yeah,
which is
nice.
cool. That's always great. That was something I would purposely do when trying to build community there. People are always looking for people to look at their videos, watch them. Everyone loves that, so that's an easy way to start building a community. Is just go in there and chat and comment on videos, that sort of thing. That's just as important as actually your own videos. Let me see. I am gonna pop over to my channel, show people that here. So yeah, it's been a month since my last post, but you can see all the different things I've done. Audius back in the day, some fight companions, food stuff. Oh, there's you 9 months ago doing Shawn S. Porter Continuum, some barbecue videos, just all over the place.
Exactly, it's just supposed, because it all stems off of Hive, which is just supposed to be like a blog, and so.
Yeah, well, and it's specific. Like you'll see I made $20 off of this smoked barbacoa style short ribs.
Oh yeah, people like the food stuff. So.
Well, and there's communities built within the blockchain. And those communities you can specifically post to their boards, so to speak, And so anyone that's involved in that community, and of course food is going to be a huge one in any ecosystem. I just posted right to them and they saw it, and so that's why it got so many likes there. I'll
Yeah.
show that to the people. So yeah, and I love me some. It was good practice. I didn't have any video, so I was like, okay, let's practice video shooting and editing, and that's how we ended up doing some. And then of course, like I said, community always backs you up. So
Yeah, yeah, that was a nice thing. I know, like, blockchain, from outsiders. It's like from the outside looking in. But outsiders are usually like, blockchain bad, bunch of crypto bros just want to make money, this and that. Same thing for NFTs. But once you're in one of those communities, if you're actually in one of those communities, I honestly feel like, yeah, like, people are, somewhat, tribalistic or, off on their own to a degree, anyways. Um, but I've always found it that with blockchain and crypto, honestly, it's been welcoming and people have actually been like really friendly. Like, and that made me think of that when you mentioned that first uploads thing
mm-hmm.
over there on 3Speak, which I'm like, where that doesn't exist on YouTube, on Twitch,
Most
on
everywhere, yeah,
anything else like related to like normal stuff. They don't have any type of buttons like that, where they're not trying to get any eyeballs on new people. They only want to, prioritize the top, the best. But these are about welcoming people and helping people out.
exactly.
And yeah, I've constantly run into that with blockchain technology, with the Hive community and stuff like that, where I had that type of interaction. They have a whole hashtag of introduce yourself, where they purposely, and a lot of the whales, the biggest people on the platform, will seek out introduce yourself
Yeah,
posts from people that are very new to the platform, because it doesn't have to be their first post, because maybe they don't find it right away. And they go in there and they try to welcome these people to the platform, give them a higher payout so they get some footing in the platform, etc. And the same thing exists on DLive from the DLive partners. They have a part of the Discord server set up to curate content that's people's first time streaming. And so I always tell people, like, if it's your first time streaming on DLive, try to stream for more than 30 minutes, more than an hour,
yeah,
because the partners are looking for you. Like, and if you just stream for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, everybody can't come in and find you right in time. Sometimes it's like content, and like the partners will be talking and they'll be like, yo, this person's still live. Go in there and like show them some love at least. But people need time to go out there and do that. And if you're really short, then there's that.
yeah.
But that's like I've only seen that in like the blockchain community, where it's like Web 2 or just the normal world. Like, that doesn't really happen like that. You're like, back to my marketing days, whenever I'd reach out to people and offer them some free work or something like that or whatever, people would just be like shocked, like, you're trying to scam me or something. And there's like, so like, I'm like, I wanted to support what you were doing. I thought it was kind of cool. But on blockchain, the first times I was kind of like, oh, really? But yeah, I was constantly amazed and still amazed whenever I run into people, and it's just such a friendly atmosphere once you actually are in one of these communities. So
Absolutely, yeah. All right. Well, next we're going to check out DTube.
yeah,
Continuing on our trend.
with the hivers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
mean, this just shows you that's a gem of a blockchain, man.
yeah,
So,
seriously, so much can stem from it.
mhm. All
Um,
right. So tell us a little bit about DTube. It's I'd say mostly similar to 3Speak, and was also around back in the day for a while there, and
mm-hmm.
now it kind of stayed with Steam, right?
I don't think they just stayed with Steam. Did they stay on the
Well,
Steam
it
side?
almost seems like, well, let me put it this way. It seems like their community is Steam
Steam
based,
based, yeah. I'm
I
like,
would say.
this is what I'll say about them, is that they branched out in an interesting way. So yeah, it was a startup. Do believe they're before 3Speak, because I think 3Speak came around as like one of those UI interfaces for like after the hard fork from
You're
Steam
absolutely
and
right.
stuff like that.
Yep.
But DTube has been around since the early days, fairly early days, about a year or two into the platform. And yeah, it's that YouTube type of interface. So all of that stuff that we just said about 3Speak exists with DTube. The real caveat with DTube, I would say now, is that back in, was it late 2000? It was either late 2019 or early 2020
Mm-hmm.
that they actually developed an ERC20 token. And so DTube actually has their own ERC20 token, which, for people that don't know what I'm saying technical language. That's an Ethereum-based token. And so the same way that you can, you can get Bitcoin on Ethereum, which is wrapped Bitcoin, then not actual Bitcoin, but it's, backed up by Bitcoin. And that's called an ERC20 token then, or Compound. Maybe you've heard of Compound or Link. These are ERC20 tokens technically. Even though people just refer them as tokens or cryptocurrency or whatever, they're ERC20s. They're technically underneath the Ethereum blockchain. So DTube created their own. Like they're still attached to, as Shawn was saying, Steam, or I don't know if it's both. I feel like it might be both. It might be Steam and Hive.
It is.
But yeah. Okay, cool. But they're also attached to the Ethereum now. So you can also take your earnings directly from DTube as their own ERC20 token and trade them on Uniswap, which is the most popular DEX on the Ethereum blockchain. So that was a really cool innovation that they did, which is specific to DTube.
Interesting. Okay. I was trying to bring it up. Now, this was one I always, after the split or after the fork, it was actually really hard to sign in and things like that. But it looks like they actually, for people that are new to the platform, it's actually got a really easy onboarding system that we've spoken about a little bit. How important do you think that is when it comes to these places that are still so, I mean, they're not getting a lot of new Web 2 users. I think it's a lot of like Web3 users still discovering these sort of things.
Mm-hmm.
And so do you think it's like not the most important thing, or is onboarding still, should that be a priority for these things?
Yeah, I still think it's important. I still think it's a big priority because even, different people come in at different, everybody's at a different stage in their blockchain journey.
Yeah.
And so some people might have especially like as an example, I was just giggled a little bit when I thought of it. If your blockchain experience is buying up NFTs on something like the Wax blockchain, and then you transition. You're like, okay, and now I want to move over to Hive or to Ethereum or something like that. It's totally different. It's nowhere near as easy to onboarding on Wax is one of the easiest onboarding processes I've ever seen in blockchain. They're like, do you have a Discord account? Go ahead and use that to sign up. And it's like, what? You push 2 buttons and it's like, here's your wallet. And it's like, that's not how it normally goes. That's not a, and if you use Hive, though, you probably have a little bit more of an experience of like, okay, I need to do some things. I need to protect my keys, etc. It really teaches you some of the fundamentals of blockchain technology. And the same thing can be said for Ethereum and MetaMask, though. A lot of people just make a MetaMask wallet and then lose the keys to them because, I didn't know I actually needed that.
I know, right? Yeah.
But yeah, the onboarding process is super important, and it's nice to see that these platforms are making it easier for people to get in, at least to some degree. I know there's still usually there's a second layer where they're to get total access, you have to do something else. But just that initial even getting people in is really important. So it's nice to see them doing that. I'll be excited when I finally see maybe they get some advertising or just some notoriety or something like that to these existing platforms, because too often I see it happens. I feel like it's like a cycle of almost like when you see a certain movie be successful. I think of when A Bug's Life was successful, and then, and then there was and now there's ants.
Okay,
then, this trend, people just make the same type of thing that was just successful. Oh, fish movies are successful. Now Will Smith has a fish movie where he smacks a fish. But yeah, that type of trend thing happens once or twice a year, I feel in Web3 now. And it would be really interesting in most of the time, and I'm bringing that up because most of the time people are like, oh, we're going to make a new social media blockchain, and noobs to Web3. I would say noobs specifically to Web3 are usually like, oh yeah, that sounds like a good project. I'll throw my money at that. And I'm like, that's a huge endeavor to take on. You want to know how big of an endeavor it is to take on a new social media project? Not only social media, but social media on the blockchain. Look at Trump's new social media platform. I'm just saying, whether you're pro-Trump or negative Trump, just look at the platform, because that's my only point. It's not anything, I'm not trying to down your boy if that's your boy, but it's about the fact that it's struggling. They got 1.5. I was just reading an article about it last night. They got 1.5 million people signed up for the thing. They can't even access it. That's the vast majority of users that have signed up for this thing since day one. They cannot access this application. It's still not available on Android devices. It's wow, you can't use it in all countries. It's difficult to make a social media platform. A lot harder than somebody was thinking. And then throw blockchain technology on top of that. So it's a tough endeavor. And when a lot of these new projects come out and they're talking about, we're going to make a new blockchain, social media platform, I'm like, there are already really, really good blockchain social media platforms that have existed for years and have paid
Yep.
people tons of money. You can get all the money that you imagine in blockchain from these platforms signing up for free if you just take some time and stop trying to be like, well, I can be early enough of my investment here. Like, well, then you're probably going to get that early investment shock and all when you lose your money. But here's my 2 cents on that. Like,
Absolutely, man. Yeah, that makes tons of sense. Let's see, what's the next one? Next is Odyssey and library.
yeah, dope
Right.
one. So did you get to look at it any?
Only a little bit. If you want to share your screen, we can take a look at what you got.
Sure.
Cool.
So I'm mostly familiar with this blockchain. I don't actually stream to it, or not stream to it. You upload content to it. So I don't actually upload content to it much.
Okay.
This is another situation where I wanted to be on it. I have watched more content on this platform than I've actually just uploaded and stuff like that, which is
Okay.
saying something for me. But let's go to the home page over here. So there's Money Match Gaming. Obviously, we have our account and stuff like that. But you can see, people talking about Morbius and this and that. And actually, recently, Richard Hart, who is the head Hexican, as I will call him, from people into Hex, the token, was kicked off of YouTube for an amount, or suspended from YouTube for a certain amount of time. And the first place that he went to was Odyssey. He went to Odyssey to launch his content. Still, he didn't choose Theta, or he didn't choose Hive. I don't know if he knows about Hive, but he went to Odyssey. And why is that? It's actually a lot of the top people in cryptocurrency and stuff. I could type like a Wendy O. It's for the ladies.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like with a zero right at the end, but Wendy's over here. Oh, there she is. Wendy's over here, and this is somebody else's posting about her, but she actually has her own channel and stuff over here. Most cryptocurrency influencers are actually over on Odyssey. Everybody has an account on Odyssey. I think even Peter Schiff has like an account over one of these platforms, which is like, what? Maybe somebody made that for him, because I'm like, he is totally negative Bitcoin. That might have just been a joke, honestly.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm like
Set it up and hope you keep scrolling it.
Yeah, because like, this is for you one day, Peter. We'll just upload all your content to it.
That's optimistic. I like it.
Yeah, but a lot of influencers are like over here, and this is probably the premier social media platform on the blockchain, where it's all like all video content now. And if you use Library, though, the main app, it's both. It's written and this stuff.
Okay.
But this is the premier one, and yeah, this is what most people know as far as social media on the blockchain. This one, and like maybe Thorm has like a decent audience and stuff too. Actually,
What was that?
Thorm, which is like the last one that I mentioned, like right before we started.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I forgot Thorm. A lot of people know those two as far as social media in the blockchain, and like have no idea like Hive and Steam existed. And part of that's just because it's so old. Where until 2020. A lot of people didn't know about CryptoPunks, and they were starting to find out about NFTs and stuff like that. And more people knew about, Splinterlands before they knew about CryptoPunks, and that bit them in the ass. So
That's true. Yeah. All right. Well, cool. This actually looks. I really like the interface here, so I'm definitely
really
gonna have to check stuff out and maybe start uploading some content there.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's got the like system, just like on Hive and stuff. You like the post, and you get them these library credits.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's very, very similar to what you're used to, and looks just like a YouTube type of interface. The comments underneath there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Very
I thought you went to YouTube for a second.
Oh no, yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah, sweet. All right, and then let's see, what else do we have on this list then? Theta. So Theta TV.
Yep.
Pretty popular one. Maybe the most popular. Would you say that's the most popular Web3 streaming?
I think for streaming specifically, yes. I think it's the most popular stream, and that's not to say that there's like hundreds of thousands of streamers on it. I think D-Live probably has more people streaming to it, just because.
So what's making it bigger?
What was that?
What's making it bigger or more popular?
Or what's making Theta bigger?
Yeah, what's making Theta bigger?
The influencers on Theta. I think the people that upload to Theta and the people that know about Theta are that much more noteworthy and stuff. So you get some like a few bigger people in certain spaces, like mostly crypto space, really, right? But that know about it, or they will invest in the token in it either. So you get like people like MMG Crypto, or educate on who's like a big crypto trader. People like what was his name? Chico Crypto, know about this platform. Kagi John, who's like a big NFT trader and gamify person.
New mission is kill prospectors with.
Oops.
Oh, finally started playing.
Sorry,
No, that's
no, yours or mine.
No.
Yeah, but a lot of these people know about Theta, and if they don't know about even if they're not using Theta for the streaming aspects of it, they're utilizing it for the fact that
I
you
see
can.
there's the airdrop.
Sorry, let me mute it. They keep
Oh,
auto.
oh yeah, you have to pause the top video and it'll rotate through them too.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll rotate through the top videos. But if they're not using it for streaming in their own content, which you can upload content like YouTube to Theta, and then you can also stream to Theta. So he's got this dual, use case. And they say that it was like made for like Ethereum. Anybody who maybe is like, oh, I've never seen this, I've never heard of it, but I've been in blockchain for a while. It was called Sliver or Silver for a long time, and then it switched over to being called Theta. But a lot of people use it for like the mining aspect of it. To stream to Theta, you have to use what's called the Edge node. It's an Edge node thing or whatever the heck.
Edgecast or no? Yeah, okay. The Edgecast is runs on the
Yeah, and so that's basically like you creating your own node on Theta and like helping keep the network up.
Right.
And so each individual user actually helps keep the network up when they're doing that. And so in the background, even when you're not streaming, you can just push this button and help process other people's streams and their videos and stuff like that once you have the Edgecast. So the Edgecast has multiple purposes. There's the purpose of like helping you stream when you want to stream too, and you need that to like as a streamer to actually take your stuff. And if at first it takes your content, you like load your stuff into Edgecast or whatever, and then the initial process is it just streaming it out to the decentralized web totally. And so it's totally decentralized on the first leg of it, and it's not actually even going to the user interface of theta.tv. It's not premiering there. It's only premiering in Edgecast. And people to see your stream, you would have to give them like your specific little string of wherever your stream is, and so it's totally decentralized in that aspect. And if you were to go and download Edgecast, you'll find all sorts of random things streaming. There's a lot of people that don't actually stream to Theta TV that use Edgecast, and they'll be like showing movies and crap like that. Like the SpongeBob movies are like typically 24 hours on Edgecast somewhere, because SpongeBob's so popular and somebody can always stream it. So I don't know why it's always streaming, but I feel like it's always streaming. There's tons of music channels and stuff like that you won't find on Theta.tv that are always streaming on Edgecast. And people will, if people are tuning in and stuff like that, they can still earn from that. But that's the interesting thing about that. And then after you have your stream up on Edgecast, you push a button in the background and it shoots it over to the front end interface of Theta.tv. And so that's how that portion works. So you actually have to like tell it to shoot it to Theta.tv. Otherwise, it'll just be on the decentralized side of things and harder to find.
Right. Interesting. Okay. And then, so you were talked a little bit about that's basically like the peer-to-peer torrent technology that they're using then, basically, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And our other one that I know, Pop Network, is one that I am sort of familiar with because I applied for a job there, and they were definitely the same sort of thing. It was a decentralized sort of Pop Network, pioneering creative freedom for a streaming platform that's owned by you and powered by blockchain. Definitely same sort of thing. I think they were, who was there? I'm trying to think. There was a popular old school torrent site that they were teaming up with.
Not BitTorrent, is it?
Not Bit. I don't believe it was BitTorrent, but I mean that'd be interesting. If it was. Let me pop in here and find out. I'm looking right now.
Yeah, this one seems very much the same. Where you need that node to get it going and stuff. And that's when it's like a little bit more decentralized. It's like, okay, they're really trying to do that whole.
Exactly.
The community keeps it up, not us.
Yeah, make money hosting. Anyone can run a Pop Master node to earn rewards for storing and streaming media as part of our decentralized content distribution network, the backbone of Web3.
Nice, yeah.
Download the master node right there and get started. Looks like the initial token distribution plan is engineered to build a sustainable crypto economy by releasing Pop slowly, fairly, and broadly. Uses ERC20 and BP20 tokens. So that'll be one that we can do some more research in and bring you some more information to the people.
Yeah. I was really surprised during the the start of the pandemic, really, like when everybody was like moving to live streaming, and I know you and I were like helping different companies and
Hmm.
nonprofits and artists live stream, and oftentimes these entities would be like, "Yo, we have all this copyrighted music that we want to be able to stream, and we don't want the copyright strikes and blah 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 blah." And I would like be like, well, number one, if you stream on Twitch, it's probably not going to be an issue as a new stream or something like
Right.
that. They're probably not going to come at you. And they'd be like, "Oh, we still don't want that heat and this and that." I'm like, all right, but you also want to be monetized. And most people, especially in the cities that we were in, like, they got an Amazon account, so you can just be, you have one or two good streams. All of a sudden, you have the requirements to be affiliate, and then people can start giving you free money. They didn't want to do that. But I was like, and it's like, "Oh, we're still worried about the copyright. Still worried about the copyright." I'm like, "Why don't you try something like Theta?" Try something like Theta where you can just go out there, not worry about any of the copyright strikes. Cause like, each of the person would have to like download the Edgecast thing or whatever, but then they go there. It's like a 30-second download on their computer, and you give them the little link, and voila, all your streams are covered, and you don't have to worry about anything ever. And they didn't want to hear that either. But I'm so always surprised when people are like, they're so resistant to things. They're Elizabeth Warren about it. That's what I want to say. So resistant to change.
There you go. Until they learn about it, and then all this start changing their tune, huh?
Yeah. Then they're Janet yelling at you. No.
Yeah. Look at you with the quips. I like it. All right, and our last one. So Pop Network, we'll definitely keep everyone updated on as we learn more about that. And then I think last on the list is Lens Protocol, lens.dev.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about what you know about Lens Protocol.
Yeah, so Lens Protocol is still not totally launched, unfortunately. They said it was launched, but it just still hasn't been like totally put out there. This is a new social media platform, which is actually launched by Aave. Woot woot. So this is from the team behind Aave. Folks that don't know what Aave is probably the most popular and successful DeFi lending protocol. So borrowing and lending, where you can earn interest and yield on supplying stable coins or other coins, and you earn the Aave token. It's like the most popular one with tons of money. I don't know how much money's locked up in the thing, but it's a lot of money. And there's been no exploits over a long, long time. So I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it's like you want to talk about the central bank of blockchain, it's probably Aave. And so their team created Lens, and so it's probably going to be a really safe social media platform. And what they're planning on Lens is to change up the social media dynamic, where maybe you've heard about Facebook integrating NFTs soon and stuff like that. They're going to have like an NFT marketplace and all this other crazy stuff. But they're not really, I doubt Facebook is thinking about it in the way that Aave and Lens is, which is where, yes, you'll still have your social media and you'll have your followings and stuff like that. But the social media creators will be able to distribute NFTs, which I believe Facebook and Instagram probably will do. But then you're also able to like capture certain amounts of post the content when the content comes out as NFTs itself, which I don't think Facebook and Instagram are going to be doing when it first comes out. So the content itself, like when it's initially launched, will be like different NFTs, and it'll be like your NFTs are just like that's your receipt on the blockchain. Because like I'll often tell people when they're confused about NFTs. They're like, "Oh, well, what is an NFT anyways?" I'm like, think of it as not just a JPEG. Think of it as, and like if you don't want to consider that they're actually used in gaming and stuff like that, then just think of it as a receipt. When you go to the grocery store, here's your receipt, but it's a much more attractive and compact looking receipt. Sometimes they try to make receipts look better. But they try
Don't toss
sometimes.
This one out on the way, on the way leaving the store. I like that.
Because those receipts actually have value to them sometimes. Sometimes they'll have promotional codes and stuff like that, but most people just throw them out. They don't think about it. So they're really attractive looking receipts or tickets. So think of them as tickets too. But that's different ways that you can think of an NFT other than like an in-game item or something like that. Those are two really simple ways that really do let you know what it is, or a certificate. It's also a certificate. These three things, and they're being used as all three of those use cases. In Africa, it's already been set up for them to be used as certificates for graduating in college and high school. It's like the whole African high school system in Ethiopia is going to be moving to the Cardano blockchain and using NFTs to verify graduate status. Most people have no clue. That's a huge use case. So that's that exactly. And so Lens is going to be doing that with the content. So which will help a lot of things in social media as far as like, you know, who made that original meme, and sometimes we don't know, or who made that content and where did it come from, and people putting their little white marks across and stuff like that. All gets solved with a protocol like this that has it coming out as your NFT. It's really easy to combat if somebody else stole your content.
Yeah. Dude, that's huge though, being able to like lead back and get monetization rewards for creating a viral meme.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
seriously.
just that alone, right? Like I got guys on Twitter that have huge followings, and you bring up NFTs and Web3, and they just admit like they're open to it, but it's just they don't have time, or you know they doubt they have the, you know, they're smart enough and all this, you know, stuff that people tell themselves. And I'm like, no, dude,
You
you
can do
are
it.
the person that tomorrow you could start making money from this, man. He works like a really hard construction job, and I'm like, bro, you are too good on Twitter, and you have too many Web3 friends to be putting up with this shit anymore, right? And so it's like, dude, we got to get you onboarded, man. You're just too good. He could easily, if not just monetize like the memes and this sort of things on these networks, social networks, but he could easily work in the industry, right? Just
Yeah,
anyone could throw him on a project and point him in a direction, and he would kill it for him. So yeah,
yeah. There's so much opportunity. Like, yeah, like you were saying, monetizing your audience or helping promote other, you know, cool projects and stuff like that. People pay a lot of money in
yeah.
crypto to promote so then you just pick and choose. Like, is it actually a good project? Because I'm about
Yeah.
to make
Well, I think with
$20,000 when I
him,
promote it.
it's like he's got so many of the Web2 followers. A part of it, I'm sure, is he doesn't want to put that out there
Mm-hmm.
because everyone's going to label him, oh, you went to the crypto bro side, dude, right? And he's going to lose followers. And I think he actually would. So I think that's part of it too. He's got to wait for
Yeah.
more people to be open to it, or if he can somehow hide that what he's really using is blockchain technology, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
which
I'm like,
that's a ways down the road.
just gotta step out there, bruh. Step out there. I know, like, what was it? We were at, I don't know, it was like at least 500 or 1,000 less followers or something like that when I made the choice to like stop hiding the fact that so much of our stuff was like blockchain based. I'm like, it's supporting us. Like, you guys don't,
Yeah,
like, our community is, we love you guys and stuff. But you're not financially supporting us in any way, quite honestly.
right.
Like the few that do support us, like, that's, you know, we appreciate the 15. We kick
Thank
the
you.
15.
Yeah,
We kick the money back to you, and we appreciate you. But it's not enough. Like, we need like everybody to actually be supporting us to like be making this stuff. It's blockchain, and so like I made the, you know, the decision to like stop hiding that and be like, we're gonna be transparent. Like, as part of us being transparent, we can't like you just give you updates about, oh, this is what we're thinking and stuff. We need to tell you how we're doing it. So if you want to go out there and make your own stuff, you actually have the ability to, which is different than Web2 and everything else and like the normal system, because they're not normally going to tell you how to do it. These other companies are not going to tell you that they actually own stocks and they have shareholders and stuff like that, and that's what's keeping the company afloat for all this time, that they borrow and lend so much money and it's leveraged on this much, and if this happens, they don't tell you that crap.
nope.
But I'm like, we got to start telling people that, because it'll actually help them build much bigger communities and sustain longer. And initially, it did lead to a drop off in our followership. Like, a lot of people are just like, you know, and we still probably lose some followers every once in a while from it and stuff. I'm like, but I was like, you know, if you want to just unfollow us for like being transparent, unfollow us. So we lost a few hundred followers at first and stuff, and then it started to combat itself a little bit, and then, you know, start seeing the growth from like people that like actually appreciate the stuff that you're doing. And that's a decision you have to make as a content creator. Like, do you want to like hide who you actually are, or you know, you want to take that mask off? And there's that
Yeah.
mask of society that a lot of people just choose to keep on all the time.
Yeah, I mean, that moving safe doesn't always get you a lot of return, right? You gotta be willing to put it on the line a little bit.
Yeah, and nothing against the homie, nothing against your bro. I'm just like, you know, that's a tough decision to make. It is a tough decision.
No,
You know,
yeah,
sometimes it's, you know, sometimes people are like, you know, this is my bread maker. This is what I enjoy doing. You keep them separate if you want to keep them separate. But for me, it's always been tough to like keep like a hide my actual self. And so I'm like, I'd much rather just be out there.
yeah. Well, and I think that's what he's doing. He's staying true to himself, like the skepticism that is
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
He's just never
If you're
gotten
skeptical,
into
you're
it.
skeptical. Yep.
Yeah, but it takes guys like me, right? Like I didn't see anyone in his posts. He's an MMA Twitter guy. Um, they're always kind of silly and stuff like that. So if there's any way I can like comment in something that's like the Web3 NFT worse, like that's the angle I take it. So now I am that guy. I took the risk of being that guy.
Yeah.
And he's like a big account that interacts with me but doesn't follow me back. He's like one of those Twitter guys. So I'm like, I'm gonna get this guy. It's like now my duty, unspoken duty, to have him follow me back and then slowly bring him into Web3.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's other people that bother him, you know, about it. So just little pecks from each direction, and you start bringing some bigger people in.
Yeah, just everybody's doing like I like that the Star Trip Ship Troopers gift from meme. Like I'm doing my part. Just turn and face the camera.
Yeah. I think that was it. Okay, so I think Lens Protocol was the last one. Yeah, and then DLive TV. So yeah, absolutely. And then you had mentioned one more that you'd forgotten about, but we actually talked about it a little bit, right?
Yeah.
What was that?
Thorum. So it's Torum. And so that's another like broad social media platform type on the blockchain. One of my friends who's like new to crypto, he still uses it. He got kind of chased out of the market during it wasn't really DeFi summer because DeFi summer was like 2020. But it was the year after, so 2021. He kind of got chased out of the market when the market dropped and stuff like that. He was over leveraged in too many random altcoins and stuff.
Sure.
And it just took him out. But he still does participate with his Pokemon journey and stuff because like Pokemon and stuff on Torum and earning some tokens over there. And so that's been his crypto saving thing. And I always tell people, if you're really new to this, crypto and stuff like that, the one thing that a lot of people are used to is which is why I think it was important that we did this episode, is streaming and social media. And those are also the two angles of cryptocurrency that you can get in for free and just like make content and earn something, and then use whatever you earn to like get into other things as you learn about them. But chances are hanging out on a cryptocurrency platform while doing your own normie thing, you're gonna learn about other blockchain things. Maybe one of those will interest you, and it'll be from somebody who's successful in it and is actually in it, not just a mainstreamer that's trying to research it and be like trying to understand it and give you their angle of it, and they've never actually done this stuff for more than people making videos like even when they're like, yeah, my first year in NFTs or my first year in crypto, like now in 2022, and I'm like, you're behind, bro. You really shouldn't be an influencer in this. I can't believe you're an influencer in this after 1 year. What is this?
Yeah. Or at least you'd like to see them reach out to people that have been in it longer to bring them on board. Be an interviewer. Yeah, exactly.
Be a journalist.
So that'll be the last thing we touched upon before we wrap up here is you mentioned Theta TV having maybe more influencers, but DLive TV might actually be more busy. Now, DLive TV a while back made the move of bringing on PewDiePie. Do you think that had a positive effect? Why did that not lead to more? Do you have any idea why that didn't lead to more mass adoption or more larger influencers coming on?
I think it did have a positive effect for the time being, just because whenever he actually streaming. But PewDiePie is toward the end of his career, I feel like, honestly, where he's more interested in like bolstering other people's content when he can, just on name recognition alone versus actually streaming. Because around the time of the DLive thing, I know they probably paid him a ton of money to do it. So he took this large payment. He was like, I'm only going to stream over here. I was pretty much at the end of my career anyways, and he really is not like streaming like that. And so like if he was actually streaming constantly or something like that, that'd be a different story.
That's the key.
But he's not really streaming like that. Most of his content is replays. And so that's a big thing there. But why do I think DLive is probably more successful as far as being busy and stuff for to scroll through both those platforms? They have a strong contingent in Turkey. And if you paid attention to the news lately, in the last few months, what happened to the Turkey lira? It was down bad before the Russian ruble. Turkey had a suffering, mass suffering. It was Venezuela over there. And so, yeah, Turkey was down bad. And like speaking of Venezuela, we see a lot of Venezuelans on DLive. All these other international countries like America, yes, they're on it and stuff. But the fact that you can be monetized right away, and especially
means something different.
Yeah, it means a lot different to other countries where you can earn something right away, or you can like farm ads or something. Then that means something to those people, and it means something to me too, as somebody who like looks at things more long term aspect.
And their governments can't control the speech there either, right? And I'm sure even me as an American, I was getting my channels pulled down by YouTube back in 2018, and that's how I ended up on decentralized Web3 applications. And I can't even imagine when it comes to countries, that are even worse with those sort of things, with journalism rights and free speech rights. So.
Yep. Yeah. We saw that, during the protest all throughout 2020 and stuff like that, where, different angles were featured on DLive, and like, if they were like a little way more off the cusp with things, a little bit more like aggressive rhetoric, they would be told to like, yo, you need to put like the mature warning or whatever the heck on your content. and it not just be something that pops open in the main feed, like your audience that you have somewhere else can go and like actually type in your name and find you or whatever. We can't have that, like, just like be like, oh, now it's trending on the front page because so many people. But the fact that they weren't totally shut down is a testament to the type of platform. And they do shut down some type of content if it's like, if you're just being violent or something like that. You can't just be like,
yeah. For instance, they had people at the January 6th riots streaming there that are no longer partnered. That I believe he was partnered there. So, and they were allowing it up to a certain point until he, broke federal law, and then
exactly. You can't get away with anything.
Exactly.
But they are pretty dang lenient.
They're pretty lenient with
They're
it.
known for being pretty lenient. You can find a lot of different content on there,
dude. And that's the one thing I've always said. Like, you go to the news section there, and it's not like you're getting a lot of left leaning.
Oh yeah. It's not very left leaning in the news section of DLive. It's all the right side thing. Like when Trump was talking about, I'm gonna make my own social media and my own streaming platforms. I'm like, you just go to DLive or something. Like Alex Jones and them are like chilling on DLive. Like,
and that's kind of the interesting thing is like what I would say the more left influencers, which I would even throw Joe Rogan in there. I mean, if you're splitting it down the middle, he's at least a centrist, if not leaning left, on certain things. So I think when it comes to like the YouTube stars and stuff like that, you're seeing a lot of the left, and those people that are more conservative feel like they're getting pushed out of those platforms. But I don't know if it's so much that, or if they just, the more popular the platform becomes, the more they just are the minority with their opinion, and so they just naturally get pushed out just because that's the market, the way the market works as far as these things go. So I think that's kind of why they tried to build like the Trump thing, but then there's so much hypocrisy in it. They're like, okay, well, we're moving because we don't want to be silenced and we want anyone to be able to use it. And then they're like, okay, so here's ours, but you can't use it. Don't talk bad about us. And they put all these rules. They're like, well, you're not following through on your own, you're being super hypocritical. And this is the move. Web3. If they were smart, if the people that were behind that movement were smart, they would have easily partnered with one of these places or started looking into this, because that would have been the move. And I still think all the hardcores that are in the know, obviously, they're the ones that are on there making these shows. Or you see lots of like people get canceled on YouTube, and then all of a sudden they're on the next one of these, right? You see the news that they popped up, but they always try and go back because, again, that mass adoption hasn't happened. So, yeah, very interesting. Yeah. Well, love it. Very cool. All good things. I'm gonna have lots of homework to do. I'd love to get DLive TV set up with Fight Legends set up with a DLive TV account and get streaming over there. Theta TV, all those, see what would be beneficial to the project and to me personally. And definitely going to talk more about that on the future GameFi Throwdowns, and keep looking here, and follow on Twitter, follow Twitch, follow on YouTube, wherever you're watching. Every Tuesday we'll do these. We're going to start going live with them. Make sure you pop into Discord for our game nights. We've got Jackbox playing 3 p.m. and 10 p.m. tonight and this afternoon. And we'll see you guys there, hopefully, in Discord. And until next time, Smurf, hope you have a great day. And we'll see you next time, man. Bye. All right.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah, those are fun. Yeah, I need to definitely do some more homework. I feel like some of those would probably be useful for us to be posting stuff on, just to be like a first mover in the space, because a lot of these GameFi places are just focused purely on Twitter. Yeah.
I think, definitely. I feel like Theta would be a great one for you guys, honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
The token is a banger of a token, and they have a small team that does stuff, so it probably wouldn't even be that bad to like reach out to them personally and stuff like that if you can.
Interesting.
Because even for their NFT platform and stuff, they do like partnerships with different people. They've done like partnerships with, like Katy Perry and stuff like that, but then they've also done partnerships with people like BitBoy. So it's like, it's like everywhere, but it's a small team doing it.
What kind of partnership is it? Like, we're doing one with Houdui.com, which is a NFT marketplace, and they're like doing some custom NFTs that we're gonna drop for people. Is that do they do that sort of stuff for
Yeah,
people?
so that type of thing. Yep, exactly. And it's because NFTs are actually integrated into Theta. So they have their own, their Theta NFTs and stuff like that.
Right.
But if you can make it so that they probably would work with you on something like that. If you had to like bridge them over to a different blockchain, or like they mean that you can mint a certain thing or something, then there's probably a way they could do that.
Right.
But they're Theta NFTs, and so like Theta has like also things like badges on there that you get from certain challenges or giveaways and stuff like that with the streamer, and those are NFTs, but they're actually utilizing NFTs into their platform in a way that others aren't. As well as the fact that you can, upload. It's also got that YouTube factor to it. So it's got the YouTube factor. It's very Web3 and crypto. The audience on Theta is very much a crypto audience, and so that's,
Yeah, you threw me off with saying that DLive. I thought Theta was like by and far the busiest.
I don't think so. Yeah, I just don't see as many people streaming to it usually.
Okay.
I think it might be because it's like more difficult. But yeah.
Yeah, it sounded like, as we went through things, it sounded like there was a little more of a hurdle to that than some of the other ones. Yeah.
Yeah. So. But yeah, a lot of people are using Theta in different ways. And probably maybe like the Edgecast might. I mean, I don't think so though. Honestly,
I'm gonna check it out. Yeah,
like there might be more stuff on Edgecast or something. But you go through like all the different people streaming on Theta, and you're not gonna find like a whole bunch of different streamers at one time, and then you like just scroll through all the ones on DLive, and it's just gonna be, it's gonna be a lot more.
Yeah. I'm still trying to find that DLive algorithm out, like. I figured crypto and like would be a bigger thing, and it's always just random games. I don't know. I can't figure it out. As far as like what trends there, it's really definitely seems user community based.
Yeah,
people aren't there. People are there to watch someone instead of like, oh well, let's try and find a Warzone stream.
Yeah. It's usually coming in from somebody that they know.
Yeah.
So. That is one thing that I'll say about Theta, where it creates a different atmosphere about it. Due to two things, like the limited amount of content, I'd say, for one, and then
but Vim has too, but it doesn't work the same because there's no users. So.
Yeah, exactly. Not the hard one, that, but like I feel like there's a limited amount of content, and then like the second thing that really matters about Theta is the way that viewers, because viewers are monetized too on Theta. Probably should have harped on that more, but since viewers are monetized too on Theta, and so watching a stream, you earn the T-Fuel tokens.
Oh sure, yeah,
and so
we could have went into that.
Yeah,
but I have a whole bunch of notes on that. Yeah, we could have easily gone 2.5 hours on this bad boy.
I mean, yeah, seriously. But because of that, to earn more T-Fuel, you have to sync up with more people in your area. So the more people that are actually in your area regionally. Oh. Like they're like, so if you have like two people in the same region that are watching a stream, they like sync up and help like host that stream better. And so if you have 20 people from the same region doing it, it's that much stronger, and you all split like the rewards because it's getting that much stronger from that region versus like one person. And so you're going around to these different streams and not just trying to find the best streamer or content creator that you like or something like that, but you're also interested in a stream that has a similar region to you, as far as content creator and as far as like other viewers in that stream.
Interesting.
And so that's like another like, triple-edged sword or something that is like laid on top of Theta. That's like, oh, okay.
So if you built a esports tournament around Theta,
the viewers
could allow everyone to jump in to watch or to run that esports, and they would all get a kickback from helping run it.
Yep.
So you could have like all the Bloody Faces tournament holders that want to be in the tournament on Theta TV, get them signed up, have us all be in there. Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, they start getting that kickback and T-Fuel tokens and stuff, and then they can do whatever they. But yeah, it's actually getting the kickback to the people from, which is initially why we chose DLive and stuff like that. So it's like
exactly.
But yeah, they mentioned that that's made for esports for, I'm sure, reasons like that. Where it's like, oh, it has to be regional. You all have to be in the same area and stuff like that. If you're going to be doing it, pop your phones out or whatever. And
so how do you drive people to? That's my one thing now. I'm like, okay, I've got these streams. I'm doing the dev updates live. This went smooth, went great. I think I'm getting more. You get more views streaming live on Twitch than posting a YouTube video on streaming on Twitter than posting a YouTube video. I don't know exactly I'm gonna actually look at the analytics to see this week. But where was I going with this? Something about streaming. Shit. Okay, well, I'm blanking, but anyways, yeah, I'll let you go. I'll message you later once I figure out what the hell I was just gonna say, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
And then on Thursday, if you still want to do a spaces, we can talk about that. What times would be good for you? You give me times, and we'll match it up.
All right, for sure.
Okay, cool. All right, man. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll get this out. Well, actually, it's already out because we streamed it, so never mind. I'll see you later.
All right, see you later.
Later.
All right. Sorry I was so inactive with the chat during that. Theta is a cool platform. Depends on the category. Yeah. Peer-to-peer and also airdrops are frequent on Theta. Yeah, Theta has a lot of cool things going for it, which is I was just trying to hype it up to him at the end there. What's the dude? Who is this handsome boy? Oh my god. That's funny. Well, thanks for the compliment. I'm so offended. Why are you offended? Tell me why, because I have to end this stream and start up another one. Why is Joaquin offended? Do you think that I responded to you at the end. I'm sorry that I didn't. Yeah, I have to like leave some type of messaging next to my face or something like that in these streams, or like, type it in chat or something and be like, I'm not gonna be super. It's gonna be me and Shawn talking. Yeah, sorry. It's I don't go and check the chat and stuff like that too much. I'm trying to figure out how I can do it better when we do those things, because it's really me appearing on his podcast thing, his chat thing, and I've been trying to record them so that we just have some other type of content that goes out there. That's me actually being able to talk to somebody. It's tough for me to actually have him up in my little view window. So I'm trying to figure all that out, how that can make it better. Yeah, but Lo Siento, I want to try to we're going to be trying to figure that out. And we're going to be doing a Thursday thing too, which is the spaces. And I'll probably also do that live. And so during that, I'll probably actually be responding more. But I'm just trying to figure it out right now. It's just, I was doing it for my laptop at first, and now I'm doing it for my desktop. And I got to figure out how I'm going to do it successfully and be able to actually respond to people and stuff, because I want to. Yeah. But yeah, it's all like predetermined ideas and stuff. But yeah, I'm bring this down for a little bit and then come back up. I think probably with some Gods Unchained. Get my arse kicked a little bit. Maybe I can get into Solar Gold today. We'll see. Caught the end of it. Oh yeah, we just went through it's gonna be up on YouTube. But I think it's over an hour long. And so maybe I'll like try to section it or something like that. I'm leaving, babe. The Solar rank. But yeah, we covered different streaming platforms, Web3. Everything was Web3, and it was either a social media in Web3 that you could upload video to, or it was a streaming platform in Web3. So that was the topic. They had to have one of those things to them, and so all of the websites that we mentioned were also free to enter, free to join, and stuff like that. And then you can start earning cryptocurrency and do what you want with it. So just to run through the list of different platforms we went through, since you said you came in late. Last one we covered was Pop Network, which I don't believe is actually, I don't know, maybe it's up and going. But Pop Network, Lens.dev, aka the Lens Protocol, which is also in the same realm of Pop Network, not up and going quite yet. Library, aka Odyssey, so ODYSEE.com, which is one of the more popular social media platforms in Web3, actually. And it's run on top of Library as a platform and technology. 3Speak, 3SPEAK.tv, which is on Hive blockchain, so you can earn Hive tokens. DTube, which is also on Hive and Steemit, and you can earn the DTC tokens, and which also equate to in Hive. And the DTC tokens can also be an ERC20 token if you check the box and connect your MetaMask wallet. And then Theta.tv. So we also mentioned Theta.tv. Other than that, we also mentioned DLive.tv, which is where we stream quite often on the Tron blockchain, and Vim.tv, which is another one on top of Hive. And then we mentioned last Thorum. Torum. I always want to put an H in there. It's just Torum, which is like a general social media platform in Web3. Is there anything that I forgot? And then Theta. And last, I would say, is probably DLive protocol, which we didn't actually talk about, but that's very similar to Theta. Theta's Edgecast, but it's for DLive, so it's a very decentralized streaming platform. But yeah, all those are free to join. You can earn cryptocurrency on pretty much all of them. You can't earn anything on DLive protocol yet. On DLive.tv, yes, you can, but on the protocol, they're still it's really early, and they're not promoting it like that and stuff yet. You're an early adapter tester. But yeah, that's all that information. I'm gonna bring us down for just a little bit, and then come back up. I'm gonna fill up my coffee cup and stuff, and come back up with some games. We're gonna play some Gods Unchained. Maybe I'll record a little video and just be like, "Yo, we got a tournament." So I have like a 2 or 3 minute tournament promotion video at the beginning. All right, see you guys in just a second.